for the budget hearing is the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services. Leading this at the table is the Director, Joy Bivens.
Well, hello there.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good.
Well, how are you, Joy?
Good, good. Thank you for having us this afternoon. So can I just go into it?
That's right. The
Okay.
floor is yours.
Here we go.
And you've brought a few of your guests.
Did some of the best, yeah.
Your
Shout out
cheering section or what?
Welcome, everyone. JFS is in the house.
Literally.
Literally.
It's a team effort. Good afternoon, Commissioners, County Administration, and OMB staff. My name is Joy Bivens, and it is my privilege today to speak to you today on behalf of the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services. In my year and a half with the agency and over the past 7 months since you appointed me director, I've had the opportunity to work with, learn from so many amazing, compassionate, and dedicated public servants, many of whom are in the room today. While Franklin County has continued to grow and prosper, there are still too many of our residents in need. We know this because our agency touches the lives of more than a quarter of the county's residents. Whether it is by connecting them with food or cash assistance, health coverage through Medicaid, quality child care or youth after-school mentoring, or financial literacies or job skills training. 2016 has seen its shares of challenges, some of which I will discuss in this testimony. But it has also provided us with an opportunity to rethink the way we work with our partners in local, state, and federal government, as well as the nonprofit sector and the business community, and countless leaders and stakeholders across Central Ohio, and embrace new and creative solutions to transform the lives of Franklin County's most vulnerable residents. It's that opportunity to adapt our ever-changing health and human services landscape and pursue new initiatives that increase our efficiency and responsiveness, strengthen our workforce, and produce the greatest return on investment for our taxpayer dollars that I am most eager to speak to you about today. One of the challenges is the state systems limiting innovation. At JFS, we utilize state systems to store client case information and data, as well as determine eligibility programs and benefits. Some of these systems are quite antiquated and inefficient by today's standards. The Client Registry Information System, better known as CRISI, that we use to determine eligibility for food assistance, cash assistance, and many other federal programs, is more than 30 years old and is prone to error. One of CASIC's administration's priorities has been to update technology, consolidate programs, and streamline processes through the creation of the new comprehensive Ohio Benefits Eligibility System. While Ohio Benefits was officially launched in 2013, to date it only accommodates Medicaid, and as state project timelines continue to lengthen, we must adapt our business operations and personnel decisions accordingly to ensure we can best meet all of our obligations to Franklin County residents. Our response to this challenge is our inbound call model and expansion in Medicaid Central. One way the agency is doing this is through adopting a new business model for conducting monthly food assistance reapplication interviews, which seeks to increase efficiency and better accommodate customers. Per federal requirements, food assistance customers must reapply every year in order to continue receiving benefits. However, many customers do not have or do not provide reliable phone numbers, and as a result, staff members are often unable to reach them to conduct monthly reapplication interviews. To counter this, the agency began piloting a new business model for conducting these interviews with a select group of customers served at the Northland Village Center in August. The customers are assigned a date and time block of several hours to call in a dedicated line and initiate their interview, providing them with greater flexibility while also entailing a greater degree of personal accountability. Additionally, the agency consolidated smaller food assistance redetermination units into one dedicated unit, shedding individual caseloads for case banking model based on daily staff capacity, while also integrating new technology to hard realistic daily processing expectations, and monitoring productivity. These steps are intended to ensure timely processing and increased operational transparency while also improving employee morale with the absence of accruing caseloads. To date, we are processing food assistance applications at a 96% timeliness rate, exceeding the mandated 95% rate. The results thus far have been a success on multiple levels. Through 3 months, the pilot group has seen more than a 10-point increase in the percent of food assistance reapplications processed prior to the customer's EBT load card date, from 70% in August to 81% in October, while the average duration of interviews has been cut by approximately 10 minutes, from 30 minutes in August to 21 minutes in October. Most customers who missed their call-in time block are still able to conduct their redetermination interviews regardless of when they call back, and feedback has been overwhelmingly positive from staff as well. Now the plan is to scale this inbound call model agency-wide within the first 2 quarters of next year to encompass all food assistance customers. We plan to implement the inbound call model at the East Opportunity Center, while cases at the West Opportunity Center will be added to the existing case banks. The agency is also looking to apply some of these same operation principles to processing Medicaid applications. In a given year, our agency processes more than 68,000 new Medicaid applications and more than 66,000 renewal applications. Many Medicaid customers also receive food or cash assistance, and as a result, Medicaid caseworkers at our 3 opportunity centers need to explore options and enter client information at least twice across both CRISI and the Ohio benefit systems. This is a redundant process that, when compounded with stringent federal policy guidelines, the state auto closure process, our staff capacity limitations, and the sheer volume of Medicaid cases has resulted in backlogs. However, unlike the programs, federal guidelines do not require a face-to-face interview to determine initial Medicaid eligibility, providing our workers with a more flexibility. To maximize this, the agency has decided to consolidate the different Medicaid caseworker units into one centralized unit located at the West Opportunity Center, while still ensuring staff is available on site at the Northland and East centers to address walk-in inquiries. Centralized staffing should streamline monitoring, training, communication of agency targets, which should improve accuracy while maintaining standardized productivity levels. The transition process is already underway, and the Medicaid Central is slated for implementation in the first quarter of next year. Another challenge has been competing priorities, making it difficult to set goals. Another ever-present challenge for our agency is identifying ways to balance and ideally reconcile competing priorities. One of the areas where the issue manifests itself most often is our contracted services, where the staff must often account for different federal rules, staff mandates, along with the commissioner's strategic priorities and community needs. The agency's Development Support Services, DSS for short, awarded more than $27 million in federal funding to contracted community partners to provide programming ranging from early childhood readiness and support and youth services to workforce development and adult protective services this year alone. Each contract must adhere to an array of procurement requirements, while DSS, fiscal, and our audit team staff monitor for different facets of a program performance, all while placing an emphasis on achieving program-specific outcomes to ensure the greatest turn on our taxpayers' investments. Our response to this has been the Results Innovation and Outcomes online contract management system that the agency currently has under development. This automated solution is designed to help improve contract performance by tracking and reducing reliance on manual, paper-intensive processes, while also making it easier for community partners to provide monthly invoices, outcome reports, and more. It will also create a digital dashboard so staff can view a full array of contract details and performance metrics in real time, while also generating automated email reminders for staff at the agency or contracted service providers to ensure that they meet appropriate deadlines. And because Rio is being designed in-house rather than by an outside vendor, our IT team has been able to operate with a greater flexibility to accommodate for different stakeholder needs as they are identified, while also ensuring adequate staffing time and resources are devoted to the project, which is targeted for full launch in the first quarter of next year. Another challenge has been driving organizational transformation. In government, as in life, change is constant, but it rarely comes easy. However, driving organizational change to accomplish the new goals is especially challenging at an agency like JFS. With the largest workforce of all the board's agencies in a community footprint that's even greater, hardly a month goes by when we are not tasked with responding to changes in policy guidelines or technology handed down by the state or federal government. The paradox is that with so many external change agents affecting an organization, it can be difficult to implement meaningful changes from within, whether you're attempting to set new strategic priorities, improve the customer experience, or reshape the agency's culture. Yet, affecting those sort of organizational changes have been my primary goal since you entrusted me to lead JFS. And I am eager to highlight some of the strides we've already made, as well as preview several initiatives we have in store for next year. Our response to this has been our supervisor training and customer service, and improving our customer service. First, I would like to speak about our efforts to improve our customer service within our call center through embracing data. Late in 2015, we committed to using all the data we could get our fingers on to track customer calls and determine how we might be able to both improve our capacity to respond to inquiries and, more importantly, resolve them. This June, we introduced several policy changes designed to provide caseworkers with more time to address questions and raised in customer calls, which has led to a 33% reduction in the number of calls escalated, from 4.2% in quarter 1 to 2.8% in quarter 3. We also implemented personnel changes in the call center, welcoming an additional supervisor and clerical staff to provide additional guidance for employees and help prevent errors in real time. While we still have a ways to go, the changes are already yielding positive results, as the agency was able to resolve nearly 73% of calls offered within 24 hours last quarter, the highest rate we have ever reported. At the same time, we also want to make sure that we foster a positive, productive work environment for our employees. One way we are already doing this is by conducting training sessions for our more than 100 supervisors and management level staff at each of the agency's bi-monthly full managers meetings throughout the year. These interactive training sessions provide an opportunity to refresh staff about existing policies such as FMLA, share tips to improve productivity, such as the Lean Six Sigma principles of workplace efficiency, and discuss techniques to address negativity and coach up team members so they remain engaged. We also ensure that our supervisors with less than 5 years experience attended at least one MAPS Management Advancement for Public Service Program Learning Seminar. And next year, we will be introducing our own 2-day supervisor training program. The program draws from Franklin County HR training sessions, the State Human Services Training System, and the Columbus Citywide Training Academy, and focuses on developing soft skills like effective communication and conflict resolution, as well as tips for managing employee expectations and an overview of the union contract. The training program will be offered several times throughout the year to ensure all of our supervisors are able to lead by example and draw the most out of their team. Another challenge we've had is developing and maintaining an effective workforce. We're investing in our supervisors because we know that good leaders make a difference. However, we still face significant challenges in developing and maintaining our workforce. The turnover is a real issue at our agency. We've hired nearly 100 new employees year to date, and yet our entire workforce size has grown by less than 10 due to turnover. Much of that is out of our control. While we applaud the Commissioner's leadership and prudence in adopting a living wage for all Franklin County employees, our agency remains a fertile recruiting ground for the state. As you well know, turnover is costly. When we lose a team member, we can eventually replace their output. It's replacing the experience and institutional knowledge that is much more difficult. So in 2017, we are seeking to expand investments in our workforce by offering more leadership development and continuing education opportunities. It's a way of demonstrating our commitment to strengthening our workforce while also aiding in agency succession planning. Our responses are Emerging Leaders Alumni, our Toastmasters, and our CAST program. In 2012, then Director Trotman created the Emerging Leaders Program, a first of its kind continuing education and professional development program open to all staff at the agency. Since then, more than 60 JFS employees have completed the program over 7 different groups. All of those graduates have stood before you in this room and spoken to you about their experience in the program. And I am proud to say that nearly 30% have gone on to earn promotions within the agency. We know our ELP graduates are valuable ambassadors for the program, and more importantly, they're vital contributors to JFS as a whole. And that is why we have introduced a new educational speaker series, so they can continue their professional development and build their portfolio with us. The Emerging Leaders Alumni Luncheon Series gives graduates the chance to gain practical career advice and participate in candid discussions with some of the most successful, dynamic leaders in our community. The quarterly series officially got underway 2 weeks ago with an interactive presentation from Don Tyler Lee, Columbus Andrew Mayor Ginther's Deputy Chief of Staff for External Affairs and former Vice President of Community Impact for the United Way of Central Ohio. The luncheons will resume again in February, just as the newest class of Emerging Leaders program is set to begin. We are also planning to offer more opportunities to empower our employees to become effective communicators and leaders by founding an agency Toastmasters Club. If you're not familiar, Toastmasters is an international communication and leadership development organization with more than 345,000 members worldwide. Whether you are interviewing for a promotion, presenting status updates on a project, or answering questions for a new customer, being able to communicate effectively is a critical skill for all of our employees, especially those with leadership aspirations. Toastmasters' proven education program is designed to help participants become comfortable, persuasive public speakers through experiential learning, mentoring, and peer feedback. I want to emphasize that this is an employee-driven initiative, not a directive from me or JFS administration. Our employees have done their due diligence and hosted an informational session and demonstration with the Toastmasters representatives over lunch last week in Northland. And we look forward to watching this program grow and flourish in the upcoming months and years. Lastly, through the leadership of Commissioner Brown, we're working with Columbus State Community College to develop a county agency social service training program. This will be a certification program which will work with the underemployed and unemployed residents of Central Ohio to obtain employment. This initiative will provide training to assist in developing a pathway to gainful employment in entry-level social service positions within Franklin County and nonprofits. It will also assist in addressing barriers to employment and provide ongoing support to encourage job readiness and the soft skills necessary for gainful employment. In conclusion, this is just one more example of how our workforce remains our greatest asset. I have the utmost confidence that the incredible, driven, and dedicated public servants will help our agency continue to spur innovation, increase collaboration, and community partners, most importantly, improve the quality of life for Franklin County's most vulnerable residents and families throughout the upcoming year. All of us at JFS will continue to support the Commissioner priorities and initiatives in 2017, whether that is working together with partnering agencies to help public assistance beneficiaries obtain stable, good-paying jobs through the PeopleWorks program, or ensuring each baby has a chance to celebrate their first birthday through the Celebrate One Coalition. There is no shortage of uncertainty for our agency surrounding the coming year, but with our steadfast support and guidance, we'll be able to adapt to new challenges that wait us, while remaining a leader among job and family services and agencies, a vital resource for all of Franklin County. Thank you, Commissioners, for your opportunity to speak, and I am happy to answer any questions that you may have.
It's over.
We should have at least given you a bottle of water.
I know, right? I'm like, what was that
working?
Wow. A lot
Good job.
going on, and a lot of change in the ways in which you're doing things to make things work better for our residents. I am really happy to see how things are working.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
thank all of you in the audience that are members of the team at JFS. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
You've got a lot on your plate and a lot to come, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Commissioner Brooks. It means a lot.
Everybody does well and makes us proud. I'm sure you will, as always.
You guys are kind of the agency where the boots are on the ground. Of all of our agencies, you guys touch the public certainly the most, and you touch those members of the public that are certainly in need the most. And so I know all three of us are particularly proud of the work that you guys do, and we, I pledged to you, and I pledged to your predecessors and all of you guys before, but we'll do our best to give you every bit of support and all the resources we possibly can so that you can continue to do that work. We all believe very much in your mission, and it's our mission, and so we are anxious for the coming year and all the work that we can get done. So keep up the great work, and keep us informed and let us know where we can be of more assistance.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner.
As we said to Susan Brown, Director Brown from Child Support, right before you walked in, some of your team was here already. These are stressful positions, and you see people in stress all the time, and if there are things that you need to help out, you need to just let us know. These are not easy times. We're a growing community, and with that comes growing needs. And we're doing things in ways that are different and better, I think. And yet, I believe that more now than ever, people are going to count on county government to make things work.
Yeah.
And we can't know what's going to happen at the federal level. We can't know what's going to happen at the state level, and the buck stops at the county level with safety service and the safety net services. We are that for every county in Ohio and throughout the country. County government is that safety net. And so if there are needs that you have, we're gonna need to and want to know so that we can be helpful, because these are very stressful times.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So that concludes our hearings for today. We will have more on Thursday.
Thank you.
Hey, there you go. A round of applause for your